Season 3 is here, and like every season we are having some amazing news and amazing additions to the game. Some of them can be a little bit awkward in terms of understanding which one is better and so on, and because of that I will speak about this seasonal feature of Season 3 in this video, right? Because I think there is a lot of hidden bonuses which I think everybody should know whenever you are playing Call of Dragons, right? The name of this Season 3 seasonal talent is Way of Hsi Ho. Hopefully I'm pronouncing the name correctly, right? So basically this is the seasonal feature of the Season 3. We can see here multiple skills, and some of them have different names, and each of them do different stuff. And as always in like every single same feature feature in the game, we have choices. You either choose one skill or the second one, right? And in order for us to understand what is what, I will try my best to explain every single skill in a simple way. So the first skill, which is Rays of Remedy, which I think will be amazing for archer gameplay and in general gameplay which has a healing itself, right? During PvP, if your hero pair is healing a lot, you would want to have Rays of Remedy, but especially archers in my opinion. So the cooldown is 3 hours, which you can reduce, energy cost is 30, and the last of Rays of Remedy, which is a buff, will be half an hour, but with the buff we can make it to the 40 seconds. During this time, your Legion lightly wounded units are healed after each battle, gaining healing equivalent to 50% of number of units they defeat in the battle. Rays of Remedy can heal up to 1 million lightly wounded units each time it casts. So let's imagine you are playing with Magrot and Zaida, and of course you know that your damage amplifier is connected to the healing, right? And healing is the most important thing for Magrot and Zaida. So basically imagine that you are getting a lot of free healing during fights, at the end of the fight, and so on, right? So I think if you are Magrot and Zaida player especially, you would want to have Rays of Remedy for sure, right? And of course the skills, we have like 3 skills on a tier depending on the feature level in general. And from these 3 you can only choose one, right? Like for example, I went for the Impetus because I'm an archer player. Legions gain 50% attack while this skill is in effect. That's a good one to choose. The second one is like Legion gains 5% more merits while this skill is active, which is a good one also, but I prefer the buffs in general. Legion suffers 5% fewer severely wounded units while this skill is in effect. I think Impetus is the correct choice here, right? The next tier is Unending, which increases the skill duration by 10 minutes, which is great in my opinion. Healing effect increased to 60% of defeated units, before it was 50%. So it means that 10% increase, right? Reduces the skill energy cost by 5%, and if you are picking the buff 50% attack, I think increasing the skill duration will benefit you more, right? So I will be going for Unending whenever I will be able to. And the last stage has 2 choices. Energy absorption, healing from Rays of Remedy is granted during battle rather than at the end. Your legions are healed once every 5 seconds during the battle, but the maximum amount of healing is reduced to 800k. And momentum, your legion no longer receives healing from Rays of Remedy. Instead, they deal 1% more damage with every 1000 enemy units they defeat, up to maximum 20%. Effect does not end upon leaving. Well, depends what's your gameplay, right? If you are tier 4 and you think that your healing without Rays of Remedy is enough, then you can understand how much damage you're gonna get from the momentum, right? If you feel like you want to have more healing, especially during the fights, you are going for energy absorption, right? These 2 are both really good, and for myself, I have not even made the choice because I think both of them are just amazing. So this is the Rays of Remedy skills and idea behind the gameplay, right? The second is Fighting Phantasm, cooldown 3 hours, energy cost 30. You are basically summoning the summon near your town, and you can of course control the summon in the battlefield. If the summon won't gonna be defeated in 1 hour, he or she will disappear. Also, it's important to understand you can like random hero, random artifact, and random warped will be equipped to this summon, and that's how you're gonna fight with it, right? And as always, Fighting Phantasm has some talents, and of course you can choose one of them, not all of them, right? Like for example, your summon can be melee range or ranged unit, or just you're gonna increase the Legion maximum unit count to 50k. Now here we're gonna have legendary warped. You're gonna choose either legendary warped, either legendary hero, or legendary artifact. And the third one, which is most interesting skills for the Fighting Phantasm. When a summoned Legion casts a rage skill, it has a 100% chance to gain 30% attack, 30% defense, and 30% march speed. When a summoned Legion deals damage, your other surrounding legions gain 50% attack, 50% defense, and 50% march speed for 5 seconds. This effect can trigger once every 50 seconds and does not stack. So basically it's a summoning skill which can be nice for a mage gameplay, for some more defensive stats and defense in general. You can even play with the cavalry 5th March if you will get lucky, and you will get cavalry hero and troop types will equip there. So it's pretty interesting. I think Fighting Phantasm is less spoken with these seasonal features, and I think there might be some hidden really OP stuff here, right? But if it was my choice, I just went with Rays of Remedy. The next choice is Dimensional Duel and Temporal Trap, right? Dimensional Duel is like really interesting skill. Cooldown is 1 hour, energy cost is 10, and you are simply moving to the target on a melee range, starting the duel. If you're gonna win duel, you can do it one more time. Maximum amount of time duel can continue is 5 minutes. And that's the skills how, and of course only the artifact skills and warpeds will be used with the people who are inside the duel, and duel is also 1 versus 1. So you might say how you can actually use it, right? And at first, like, let's speak about the talents. Legion deals 20% more damage in all dimensional duels. It launches, which is great choice. After Legion launches and wins a dimensional duel, it heals. So after win, you're gonna heal, you're gonna gain 100% march speed, which will slowly reduce, increase the skill casting range by 25%, skill cooldown by 20 minutes. After Legion launches and wins the duel, it gains 50% more merits. And of course, the most important ones are here. If after the Legion launches and wins the duel, it deals 50% more damage for 1 minute. Effect does not end upon leaving battle, which means if your duel will be finished, then you will still keep this 50% damage increase if you have the timer still, right? And Serial Strike, after the Legion launches and wins the Dimensional Duel, it can cast Dimensional Duel again within next 5 minutes. Casting Duel again does not cost the energy, and the resets the skill's cooldown. This can be triggered up to 1 time consecutively. So it means that within 5 minutes you can cast Duel twice. So my idea behind this Dimensional Duel is that imagine during war, from the cavalry from the One Alliance, 1 unit cavalry players rush to enemy infantry. They start dueling them, so for maximum 5 minutes, and it means that you are kind of removing enemy's infantry troops, and your enemy's backline is free to hit. That can be one way how you can actually use Dimensional Duel. And also for tier 5 cavalry players who like to go on solo runs, this is the perfect skill for you. This is really interesting, a lot of ways to use, especially during wars, and I think a lot of alliances will try to use things with Dimensional Duel. Temporal Trap is kinda counter to Dimensional Duel. It's a cooldown 1 hour, energy cost 10. It basically gives you ice shard around you, which makes you untargetable. Well, no damage is dealt to you while you are inside the shard. So imagine when the cavalry player is rushing towards you to cast a dimensional duel, you can easily go to Temporal Trap and avoid the duel, right? That's the idea behind these two. And of course, the talents, lightly wounded units in friendly legions are healed every second during the time freeze. So this is the time freeze here. Enemy legions lose 50% march speed for 10 seconds after time freeze ends. And this is like 20% less damage for 10 seconds whenever you are, when the time freeze ends, right? Boundless, increase maximum number of legions affected by time freeze. Reduce the skill cooldown by 20 minutes. Increase the duration of time freeze by 50 seconds. And the most important ones, time freeze only affects your legions and other friendly legions. Or time freeze only affects enemy legions. So basically you can use it on a defensive way and offensive way. I think generally it will be used for the infantry players to survive longer or to be kind of control type of gameplay of infantry players, and of course to counter to the dimensional duel, which is, I think, really important skills, right? I think dimensional duel and temporal trap is like pure PvP skills which need some mechanics, some fast hands. So if you are not confident with your gameplay, I would not really recommend to use temporal trap because it needs like timing when to use it and when to not, right? So basically, if you're a cavalry player, more tier 5, you're gonna be using dimensional duel. If you are infantry, temporal trap should be yours, right? The next choice is Seasonal Shift and Timeless Treasury. You can see I chose Timeless Treasury. It might be a mistake, it might be not. Let's find out, right? Seasonal Shift is amazing skill to have on your account whenever a war is over or KVK is about to finish and you have some free time to do some economy stuff of your town, right? Cooldown refreshes on 0000, like during the reset. Accelerates the flow of time when within your city. When cast, reserves in all resource buildings in your city are filled to maximum capacity. So let's understand what kind of talent skill this Seasonal Shift has. And trust me, it has some amazing ones. Gain the gallantry buff for 30 minutes. Heroes and warpeds can depart your city as long as they have at least minus 640 stamina. It's a stamina buff like that. Prosperity, which is amazing here. Gain the prosperity buff for this amount of minutes. Increase legion gathering speed by 50%, which is quite high, right? Respeed, gain the respeed buff for 1 hour. Increase stamina recovery speed of your heroes and warpeds for 50%, which is quite good, but I think prosperity is nice. The next one grants elixir equivalent to 6 hours of production at your shaman hut, which is nice at the end of the wars. This is a good one to have, right? Instantly enact the policy you are currently working towards enacting. I think this one could be nice on early game at the end game. It summons the Goblin Merchant. If the Goblin Merchant is already in your city, refresh their items and reset the number of refresh attempts. And the most important ones, gain 1 warrant for more warped catching and activates a 24-hour shield. It replaces the duration of any existing city shields. So this is more of a defense and economy, and I think here we have quite important and interesting skills. For example, 50% legion gathering speed, even 1 more warrant, even like Goblin, for example. These are pretty cool, right? And Timeless Treasury, this is for the war situations, whenever you are getting a lot of merits during the fights. I think Timeless Treasury will be great. Cooldown like 1 week, energy cost 5, opens a secret store known as the Timeless Treasury. The Timeless Treasury opens for 4 hours at a time, allowing players to purchase the items using merits. The items we can purchase is Prestige, the elixir, mana, and some SP, which is like all of them are great, right? Command consolidation, double the amount of command points items for sale in Timeless Treasury. This is great. Doubles the amount of prestige, double the amount of elixir on the sale, which I think a lot of players will choose this one. Makes neon available for sale, which is nice. Makes mana available for sale, which is, I think, a lot of players will choose this one. and makes warrants available for sale, which is pretty cool one. The most important ones are reduce the prices of items in the Timeless Treasury by 20%, and allows you to refresh items in Timeless Treasury, which is great, right? So basically, this is the powered up version of Merit Store, which is great for fighters, right? So here we have like economy and for farmers, and here we have for fighters. So let's make a like final verdict how and what kind of skills these are, right? Race of Remedy is mainly for archers with healing and all the troop types with healing with themselves. Fighting Phantasm is for summoning. Not sure which hero pair and troop type will work, but it's just a summon gameplay. Dimensional Duel is especially great for the cavalry gameplay. Temporal Trap can be great for infantry and some ranged units, depending on situation. Seasonal Shift is economy skill during the early game or at the end of the KVK. It will be amazing to have. And Timeless Treasury is the skill for the PvP players who are generating a lot of merits and who want to spend those merits in a good way. And the Neon, which is increasing the phases, we can actually get Neon from daily objectives. Tails, explore the map. Explore the map means the wonders near the villages near the wonders can give us Neon. Timeless Treasury can give us Neon, and Darkling War Hordes, like defeating Darkling War Hordes, will also give us the XP. Neon is basically the XP. I think this is quite cool and interesting seasonal feature for Season 3. Every single skill has like different idea of gameplay behind it, and I really like it, right? Soon in my KVK fights will start, and I'm pretty sure I will be able to showcase how much merits I will get with the use of Race of Remedy during the PvP. I hope I tried my best to explain every single skill in a most perfect and easy way. Hope it was understandable. If it was, press like, subscribe, share. It always gives me more and more motivation to make more content for this game. I wish everybody an amazing day, morning and night. We are going to see each other really, really soon. Bye bye and luck.